The vice presidential debate was this week, and it was very interesting to watch. It was Tim Walz from the Democrats, the vice president, the wannabe vice president to vice president, hopeful to be President Kamala, versus JD Vance, who wants to be vice president for Donald Trump. And man, you know what I thought going into this? I thought that it was going to be more of what we had seen, which was just like two fucking, like just a clown show, right? But it was the most reasonable debate that I have ever seen from America, right? It made me go within about 30 minutes of it starting from both sides. They both made me go, why aren't these the two people that are running? They had reasonable back and forths. They could clearly articulate their policies and how they feel they would be the solution to actual real problems that people are facing. They were able to disagree with one another and explain why, and then rebut the person disagreeing with them in a respectful way that was clear and easy to understand as for someone who's not a politician. There was like no insulting done. There were no dunks. It was just like, here's why I think I can do the job better, and why I think their idea is wrong. And then the other person will be like, well, respectfully, I disagree for this, and I think that my solution is this, and it would solve this problem better than that guy's solution, and I think that he's done these things. And it was just like that for pretty much the entire time. And the only crazy bit were some of the faces that Tim Walz made, which were very funny. And when Tim Walz said that I'm friends with lots of school shooters, and who's not friends with a school shooter, okay? Who isn't friends with someone who's tried to shoot up a school? We've all been in a Discord group chat we probably shouldn't have been in. We've all been in a Discord server that we would be very upset to know the FBI was in also, okay? We've all been there. We've all received a meme from a school friend they haven't heard from for many years that looked very alarming. We've all been, who hasn't befriended a school shooter? Now, of course, he did mean he's befriended victims of school shootings. But what a flub. What a mistake. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like watching it, it just made me go, oh, these two should be the presidential candidates. It shouldn't be Kamala and Trump. Like, these two are the two people that should be running, because both of them clearly have very, very different ideas and different solutions. But for pretty much the entire debate, both of them agreed on the problems and were like, I see these issues that normal people are facing, and that's wrong, and I'm going to try and fix it. Here's my idea. I haven't heard that shit from a presidential candidate since, I don't know, I started paying attention to American politics. I started paying attention when I was, old enough to kind of give a fuck around the end of Obama's term. And that was maybe the last time I heard, this is my idea for a problem that I see normal people are facing. And from the minute Obama left and it was like, fuck, who's it going to be, Clinton or Trump? It was just like spectacle and hyperbole and culture war bullshit. But these two were like, all right, here's how I think we can make a positive impact on the world when it comes to our environmental policy. I couldn't fucking believe what I was hearing. I was listening to a Republican candidate talk about clean air and water and why they think actually moving manufacturing back to the United States would be better for climate change and the environment overall globally, because first world countries and Western nations are just better at reducing pollution while manufacturing, where countries like Bangladesh, India, China don't really give a fuck about it at all. So they just create and pollute, and who cares? I mean, that's why shit from Shein is so cheap, because it's made by child slaves who are throwing their excess plastic fibers into the sea because they have no other option. But yeah, I don't know. Like listening to it the whole time, I was like, oh, true. That's a good point. I hadn't thought of that before. Oh, you know what? I agree with this guy on immigration, but I actually really agree with this guy on the economy. They're both making reasonable, and it's like, why the fuck isn't that what politics is? That's what it should be. And I feel like that's why I went on Twitter, and most people were just, I feel like everyone who, I mean, you've got to be a bit of a fucking nerd to listen to a vice presidential debate, right? You have to be an absolute dork and a nerd and a loser. But I think the vibe that I got from looking at social media before and during, before, everyone was like rallying together in their teams, like putting the face makeup on and wearing the costumes and their fucking hats and their lanyards and their pronoun pins, and everyone was like gearing up to fucking dunk on the other team. And then as soon as it started, it was like, both of these people actually seem to care about me and have ideas and seem to care about issues that I'm facing. Well, let's hear about some solutions and see who I agree with more. Like, everyone was just like, oh, so it's not just going to be flinging shit at each other and talking about sizes of rallies and fucking, you know? It was great. It was like, I left the debate feeling very hopeful. I was like, oh, that was nice. They should be the two people that are in charge of the Dems and the Republicans. Two politicians that, despite their disagreements on policy, both see and agree on the issues and seem to genuinely care. That's what you want. Some fucking compassion from the people that are leading, instead of these like fucking policy avoidant, owned by corporate shells of people who are just fucking saying talking points and not being human beings. It's really weird what politics is. And then the only guy who is being a human being, Trump, is kind of been a crazy one, you know? You can't say he's inauthentic. He's being authentically him, and the guy's a bit nuts. But yeah, I don't know. It was like, I don't know, it left me, it had me like weirdly, it had me going, oh yeah, that's good. That's good. I'm glad that those two are running because they both give a fuck. Now, whoever wins, I don't know who wins. I keep going back and forth on it. After the debate with, I think Kamala won the debate with Trump, but the vice presidential debate, literally, I think America won. Like, I don't think there was a winner. I think that it was just like whoever you agreed with more on their policies and their solution is who would win your vote, and that's what it should be. And I don't think there was a clear winner. There was a winner on, I think on immigration, JD Vance won. On women's rights and abortion, Walz won. There was like, I feel like it's down to the individual person who won. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's just, it's going to be down to the fucking wire, dude. I reckon whoever wins, it will just come down to what happens that week. Like what is done the week of the election, what happens the week of the election. Although I will say Donald Trump getting shot at for a second time and no one giving a fuck at all, bad sign. Not good for Trump. All right. The first assassination attempt galvanized Trump. And then I think he didn't use it, or he was too rattled by it or something. I don't know. I feel like it just really got everyone who loved him and everyone who was on the fence about him really behind him. And then it just slipped away. And then it happened again. And then now no one gives a fuck. And I feel like it'll just be like, now the next time someone tries to kill the president, it'll be like, nah, that happens all the time. You know what it'll be? It'll be the new school shooting. The first one that really made the news. Oh my God, this is horrible. The 7,000 one, like, nah, it just happens here. I don't know, put more locks on the doors. You know, it's like just a thing that, yeah, whatever. Hope it doesn't happen to my kid. Hope it doesn't happen to my candidate. You know, it'll just be that. Oh, well, at least they got a Republican. At least they didn't get a Dem. I don't know. Be interesting. I'll be following it very closely, but it's down to the wire, man. I think it could go honestly either way. We could be looking at Trump. We could be looking at Kamala. It could be either one.